From Studio A in beautiful Lake Worth, Texas, from One Biloxi Square. Welcome in, everyone, to the Grandpa and Pappy Show as we kick off a brand new week together and thank ourselves and pat ourselves on the back for making it through another weekend. In more ways than one, Pappy. Heck yeah. We hope you had a great weekend too, and everybody is safe and sound in your family. We had an interesting topic this morning that we kind of stirred up a little hornet's nest, should we say.
The old stink pot up a little bit.
Yeah.
We're good at that.
If rioters showed up in your town, would you show up? Well, that's a good question. Now, we know of three there in Weatherford and one in Cleburne.
They showed up.
And Corpus Christi, I found out from one of our commenters that same thing happened in Corpus Christi, and they showed up and they left.
Well, it's pretty much a Texas thing, I believe.
And there's a town in northern Colorado that, boy, they had all kinds of folks to show up, and they had the mounted sheriff's patrol pushing them back toward their buses.
In Colorado?
Yes.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that video. It was pretty good, actually.
Cool.
But people, Pappy, in my opinion, are just getting tired of all of this.
Well, and if it's true about Barr, probably will see a lot more of that going on. I mean, he's supposedly formed a posse of sorts to go out and gather these folks
Bust up Antifa, yeah.
Yep.
And it won't be long till some of the BLM protesters get it too, which brings me to another point about pro sports. Guys, come on. All of us really diehard sports fans, we really want to see some sports, root on our favorite teams, but this BLM stuff has got to stop. Yeah, it's just got to stop. Quit pushing your agenda on us and your political views and pour all that money back into the community. We've said it several times. If you really want to help African Americans, pour all that money back into the community and get your folks to really pick up on the idea of educating their children, giving them a good education.
Well, they're doing everything but
what they
going
need
against
to.
the grain of what their cause is, and that's silly.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's about as nice as I know how to say that.
And I think you did well on it. Yes, you surely did. But anyway, we had a lot of comments this morning on our subject. If rioters show up in your town, would you show up?
What would you do?
Yeah.
I know in Weatherford you see kids running around with rubber band guns and slingshots. Everybody had a weapon.
Everybody had something, and you'll find out in some of the comments, there was a couple of people there from Cleveland, or Cleburne, that wrote in, as you'll see, and they had some interesting things to say. So what do you say? Let's just jump right in and
dive right on in.
And before we do, I ask on our Facebook page if you liked our format of being the place where people can express their opinions on the subject of the day, and overwhelmingly you have said yes. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. It means we're doing something right.
We're doing something right. Let's take a look at our viewer opinions. Terrell Lee Hathcock said, "Don't be fooled. There are no rioters, just peaceful protesters." Right. He told Hoss Huggins to keep watching the news. It is meant to have you scared of one thing or another. There are no violent protests here in Portland. The violence was incited by police and federal agents. Now, you get to read the response from Big Hoss.
Well, and Hoss said, answered Terry Hathcock by saying, "You've got to be kidding. What channel are you watching? Courthouses, federal buildings, and businesses are blazing. Damn straight I'd show up. Myself and a few of my certain young friends with axe handles on a flatbed truck. It'd take about 15 minutes. One riot equals one truck.
Oz.
How you really feel, Hobbs?
Well, he's got an opinion, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And it's not such a bad one, but...
damn good. Well, that's the way they handle it here.
Tara Lee, I'm not making fun of your comment because we respect them good and bad here, but in my opinion only, there is violence going on up in Portland, and if you can't see it, brother, you need to open your eyes too. So let's see here. Netta Britton said absolutely, along with all of my friends, relatives, and theirs, and the beat goes on.
Well, Brandon Barr, Lisa Seeley, Sherry Briggs Cone, and Bob Lyle, along with Cindy Gale Northcutt Thomas, Jessica Davis Duran, and Cody Kane, all say they'd show up.
Yeah. I like this one. James O'Donnell borrowed a saying from Doc Holliday by simply stating, say when.
Say when. I'm ready for you. Willie Robertson said a lot of folks won't go to the big cities to protect it, but smaller towns are different. Look at Cleveland and Weatherford. The folks turned out in droves when it was rumored BLM and Antifa were coming. I was there. There were more guns present. There were more guns present that are on most military bases. That's a lot of guns.
That's a lot of guns right there.
Our people don't fool around, and we don't want those people in our town to cause chaos and damage. We'll make a stand, protect our police, and protect our town. They never showed up in Cleveland.
Well, there you go.
Somebody must have hated them off.
Yeah, somebody must have stopped him outside of town and said, you go in there, you on your own, pal.
Yeah, I went to Walgreens for a pack of smokes. You won't believe what I saw when I was there.
Yeah, it's time to shoot some cans. Yep.
Well said, Willie. Thanks for saying
Kelly Couch Gleason said, rioters, yes. Peaceful protests, no. Okay.
I can see that as well.
Yeah, I can too.
Elizabeth Floyd says, nope, I won't participate in any of it, but props to those that will. Being the only parent my kid has a lot to do with making these decisions.
And I can respect that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can respect that, Elizabeth.
Somebody needs to take care of the home front, you know.
And Susan Saunders and Christina Hoffman both said, abso-freaking-lutely.
I could see Susan walking through the crowd with a big stick.
One of those axe handles Hoss was talking about.
Yeah, you better stand back.
That's good. I swallowed my coffee wrong.
Lindsay Rogers Hardy said, nope, I'm a lover, not a fighter. To which her husband Brent said, don't worry, I got this one.
Yeah, and he does. Yeah. Let's see. Baron White says he has nothing against peaceful protests. The Constitution guarantees the right to peaceful demonstrations.
Yeah.
So, I propose when they come in, just lead them down to the cattle auction yard and let them yell all they want, but stay the hell away from the streets of our town.
That's it.
Hey, right of peaceful assembly, give them their own place. Hey, I'm all over it, Pappy.
Yeah.
That's a hell of an idea.
Ship them off to another country.
Well, under the auspices, yes.
Well, they can any damn way they want to.
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Mills said, I would hope that Denton police would control riots in our town. However, I'd be happy to help them in any way needed. She's another one to pick up an axe handle.
I'll bet you would.
The redhead mama get after you.
Yeah, you don't mess with redheads, I'm telling you.
Nope.
Frank Edgar said he watched a video of deputies on horseback herding Antifa out of town in Colorado City, Colorado. That's the one I was telling you about.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to be part of something like that.
I hate that I missed that.
Yeah.
I don't watch mainstream media news.
Well, that was on Facebook, too.
Was it?
Yeah, it was on Facebook.
Huh. Deanne Pendergraft, Sherry Franick, and Russell Curlin all said yes, they would.
Now, Russell lives up in Wyoming, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of them Wyoming boys.
How's it going up there, Russell? Beautiful, beautiful country. Golly. Kimberly Smith Hogg says they didn't come to her town, but there were rumors that they were. A whole bunch of folks showed up to protect the town. Nothing happened, though. Thank goodness. That's another one that got a little information on the edge of town.
Joey Thabeau said that they had one on the 24th in our small town. It got heated with words and gestures, but no riots or fighting. The state and city police did a good job keeping all in line. But there is another protest planned for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm not confident that this one will be as easygoing. We won't be going through. DJ has a past and doesn't need to be going back to lockup.
Well,
that's Russell Curlin's niece.
Oh, yeah? Okay. All right.
My little cousin. She's anything like her mama. She'll mix it up with a drop of a hat.
Bob Baker said he just had this conversation with his neighbor. We don't have cops in our little community, only county deputies. And I'll bet you in little communities like that, Bob, I'll bet you guys have a little surprise if they do show up.
We've got our own little Barney Fife over in the trailer hood.
Oh, yeah.
Fort Worth cop.
Barney Fife.
Yeah, they'll have to pass his crib before they get to mine. Shame on him because he don't have a sense of humor about it. Let's see. Paul White said if BLM or Antifa come to your town and see hundreds of local folks showing up to meet them, they would probably not march. If your town is like most of them in Texas, the residents will show up, ready for action, and loaded to the teeth. It's not that we're racist, but we just won't stand for all your BS or trying to stir up trouble.
Now, there's a logical
I
explanation.
like that. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
What's those two words, Pappy?
Common sense.
Bingo. Common sense.
Booyah.
Paul, that was very excellently worded.
Well said.
Yes, sir. Christine Wiley seemed to agree with Paul by saying yes. And I think most of our little towns would.
Yeah.
And I bet you they would. I know if they did that in where I grew up in Emory, it may be a long afternoon for them folks.
Yeah, and that's something I always wondered about. I mean, the people in, I lived in Houston for years.
Yeah.
And they don't give a damn. Maybe in certain neighborhoods or certain parts of town. It would
Well, do you think that maybe that the towns are so large and so diverse, they don't care? They don't want to get mixed up in it. But these small towns, Pappy, like you and I grew up in, they won't take that bull.
I don't think they would handle it too well in Lubbock.
Yeah.
They'd throw dirt clouds.
Well, Lubbock's not a small town anymor. I apologize for that. But
it's not much larger than it was when I was growing up there. I guess it's because of the lack of water. I don't know. Yeah. Tommy Parker, Rudy Torres, and Randy Landers said yes, it's them or us.
Well, that's a great way to look at it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Richard Wise Jr. said, "Oh, hell yeah," to which Jeff Thompson and Eddie Dixon agreed. Oh, hell yeah, it's on.
They go down Eddie's road. They're going to have a little something waiting on them.
I like this community. They done gone and arranged a good old fight for us.
Good old-fashioned ass whooping. And my number one baby boy, Jason Terry, says they're all over Austin, which is where he lives, in Cedar Park up there. Most of it's downtown, though. If they come and try that stuff at my house, let's just say they won't be rioting anymore. Well said, Jason.
He's probably armed to the teeth, too, knowing him and knowing you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a very bad choice.
You got a little something waiting on him.
Yeah, be a very bad choice.
Yeah.
Cinda Maddox said Corpus Christi did that exact thing. Brett Barker said he did show up at his. So, there you go.
Oh, Corpus.
People will do it.
Bradley Frierson kind of took the opposite position. He says, looks like I'm in the minority in here, and the minority of the comments look like they're coming from unreachable fear. Also, for the self-proclaimed heroes, commenting on how brave you were for doing so, you should invest in a billboard for yourself.
Yeah, the majority of the comments look like they're coming from unreachable fear. Well, Bradley, you have an opinion. We respect it.
Opinion.
But
what you going to do if they knock on your door, though?
Thomas Green had a great answer for you.
Yeah.
Thomas Green answered him by saying, "We're not heroes. We're just protecting our towns and property from would-be thugs. Yes, I need to take out a billboard on the edge of town saying, if you want to protect or if you want to protect and damage this town, we have wonderful woodworkers who make excellent caskets.
Yeah.
People are getting sick and tired of these select few that are trying to push their agenda down our throats. We're just showing them that there are a lot of things we could push down yours.
Well, I mean, and it's human nature to protect what's yours and who's yours. You know, I mean, I'm going to protect my family and my property. I don't give a damn what you think about it. But either that, I'm going to go.
Let me ask you a question. Just based on the comments we've been getting lately, do you think the silent majority is fixing to rise and raise their heads? And if they do, what do you look for?
I think they need to revolution.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there'll be a time when, and possibly in our life, to where you'll see blood flowing down the street. You know, just, I mean, enough's enough. I mean, somebody needs to do something. I mean,
I would hate that to happen. I really would, but you know, you can only push people so far. My dad used to tell me, don't get in fights. Don't get in fights. Yeah. Walk away, walk away, walk away. Yeah. But if you get in a corner and you have no choice, come out swinging. We'll take care of the rest of it later.
You know, Pops used to tell me the same thing. He said, walk away from it. If they put their hand on you, kick their ass. Or I'll kick yours.
Well, yeah. That sounds like something my daddy would say, too.
I'd much rather take my chances out on the street.
No, but stop and think about it. How many of these people that are doing the rioting and the protesting, how many of their parents took them aside and told them the way the cow ate the cabbage?
Probably the majority of them, I think. Because, I mean,
well, you look at most of them are in their 20s, you know.
Yeah.
Some in their early 30s. You know, are they the children of the hippie generation, or, you know, they just don't have enough courage to, or backbone, I should say.
Yeah, well, they weren't raised proper. You got something for us, our special case?
Well, hold on just a second.
I saw you putting a look on it.
Let me turn it up here. What you got?
Well, I was just going to say a lot of these protesters, right now, it's their dang job to get out there and stir all this stuff up. They're getting paid to do this.
$200 a day, I heard.
So, you know,
Karen,
they may or may not believe they're getting money to live on or whatever they're doing by being paid to protest.
Yeah.
Well, it's like our program the other day. Should the accounts of Antifa and Black Lives Matter be seized to pay for all this damage? If you dry up that money, it'll all go away.
You're never going to dry up that money.
What was it, the statement somebody had said, cut the head off a snake and the body will die? I mean, and that's true.
That's
you know,
true.
you go straight to the source.
But I just want to interject that a lot of these kids,
that's a good point.
Young kids are getting paid to do what they're doing.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
You can probably go to Google and say, how do I get paid for protesting? And it'll probably come up with a zillion different things.
I didn't think of that.
She's too damn logical for me sometimes.
I could use the money, too.
I mean, that's easy money.
Yeah.
It is easy money. I guess
I've been acting a
hey,
fool all these
let's
years
go
for
burn
free.
down a building and get paid for it.
Yeah, a lot of them people do that crap for free. Now they've found a way to make money out of it. Angela Tidwell, Lacey K. Green, Philip Charles Day, Eric Turner, and Sissy McCoy all said yes, we'd show up.
And I bet you they would.
I bet they. I know Eric would.
Our buddy up in Tennessee, Brian Emerton, said, I'd flatten them suckers without flinching. He'd probably be in the big old truck.
Well, he's like me. He'd go home sleep good that night over it.
I saw this deal on Facebook where they were blocking the road, and this guy was patient. He kept honking, and then they surrounded his truck and started breaking his windows or trying to break his windows. He just floored it.
I saw that.
And created a couple of speed bumps along the way. Boom, boom.
He knocked one foul over the right field fence, I think. And it's hard for me to understand what kind of an idiot would stand. For example, my truck. You know, everybody that knows me knows I got a big truck.
It's like a tank.
It's got a
on
big
wheels
on it too.
Yeah.
And I mean, good God, that'd be.
That'd get ugly.
Get plumb ugly. But I bet
It'd take you forever to watch that thing.
Wow. Max Reed says, this is an interesting question we're asking because I would have to ask myself if I would show up knowing that they were in my little town. I would pray that they never showed up, but yes, I would have to show up to show our solidarity as a community and warning against damaging or destroying any property. Why don't y'all just stick to your coverage on TV because they're only too happy to give you airtime. Just stay out of our town, okay?
Now, Max, that is a logical explanation.
Don't start none,
Right
there
there.
won't be none, by God.
That is a logical explanation.
That's the way I feel about it.
And that's the way I would be. I mean,
Yeah.
if they showed up in my little town, well, of course, I'm living here between Lake Worth and Saginaw, both of which are kind of relatively small towns.
Right.
I think I would have to take a stand. I really would if they are coming in to damage or destroy, because most of the businesses, Pappy, that you and I know in Lake Worth and Saginaw are family owned,
Yeah,
locally owned.
Well, it's typical small community. I mean, there's corporate America there, but yeah, the majority of all the businesses that we know of around here are probably independent. Yeah, makes me wonder if we need to hire
And something
a
you had
security
said,
guard right here at One Biloxi Square.
well, we got one, but Elmer's over there asleep, so
Yeah, she's laying down here snoring right now.
that's why we've got our mascot, Miss Dolly, here, so she'll take care of us.
Yep.
But anyway, thank you very much for your comments. They're very insightful. Some of them were against it, and we respect that. We respect it. We read all opinions that we get in, Pappy, good or bad, because that's what this program is based on.
I mean, bottom line, you have a God-given and constitutional right to take care of your property and your family.
That's the point. Good point.
I mean, I wouldn't hesitate at all, to show up out there. I mean, you're kind of, in one sense, I can see where some of our viewers, well, you're just inviting trouble by showing up out there, but hell, you got to take a stand.
I will say I've never shot and killed a human being in my life, and I pray to God in heaven every night that I don't have to. If I had to protect my family and my property, I would. But I tell you what, it would have a mental thing with me the rest of my life because I'd be asking for forgiveness.
But you stop and think about it. You look at this lovely lady over here,
That's right.
Special K, and those beautiful grandbabies and your kids.
Yep.
And think about I'll never see them again.
Yeah.
Makes it a little easier to pull the trigger.
It does.
I would think.
Yeah, it does. Well, I just hope none of us ever have to be put into that position, everyone. But
Me too.
I'm sure knows that you would without hesitation and worry about it later.
I'd do it fast.
Yes. Pappy, let's take a look at some of the viewer comments that we've gotten in from some of you. Thank you so much for those, too.
Thanks to you guys for all your participation. You guys rock. I just can't tell you enough. Y'all are awesome out there.
They really do. Oh, incidentally, did you see our T-shirts?
Represent. That's right.
Yes, sir. Pappy will tell you how to get you one of these here very shortly. Paul Westfield commented on our school curriculum show by saying schools need to teach our kids how to be better Americans. It's funny how immigrants who get their citizenship the right way know more about America and her history than the average American does. That is sad.
That's a strong point. Really,
But it's truth.
Sad. It is true.
It's the truth. Who was a little girl's name? I don't, golly, I forgot her name, that was studying for her citizenship up at the field office, and we were asking her questions and things like this. A lot of people around the bar didn't even know how to answer them. You remember? You remember her? A little dark-haired girl?
Yeah, she's from Philippines or Cuba. Jessica, is that her name?
Boy, don't get me to lying. It's been a
You know what I'm
while.
talking about?
Yeah. But she would have that those cue cards to study the history, and a lot of people that were around the bar area there, they couldn't answer it. A lot of them did.
Well, and
So
I
anyway.
remember that. I recall that
Yeah.
because a lot of them stumped me. I thought, and I'm thinking the whole time I should have paid closer attention in history.
Oh, incidentally, update: she did get her citizenship.
Yeah. Sharp
Okay,
girl.
here we
Very
go.
Sharp girl.
The right way.
The right
By
way.
God, that
That's
means
correct.
She's marked by God.
Mm-hmm.
Susan Macaluso, lovingly known as Sumac, down in Houston, responded to her Facebook post about sharing stuff on her site. She said it's a testament to the current up
Is down.
is down control. Okay, yeah. She said it is a testament to the current up is down control. Sorry. And sorry if I contributed to the situation with the Grandpa and Pappy article I posted in one of my replies.
Well, Susan, I don't
no
think
need
it
to be
was
sorry.
you that got us the warning. Let's put it that way.
But I'll blame it on you if you want me to, Sue Mary. I don't mind. Give me a tie-dyed shirt and I'll forgive you. She does tie-dye, you know.
I got you.
She does some badass tie-dye work.
Billy Bryan commented on our show about watching sports and their protesting this year. He said, I won't, and I repeat, won't watch. Wasn't the civil rights movement all about integration in the school and workplace and everything else? It seems to me that by having your own anthem, Black, Miss America, and so forth, that you're segregating yourselves on your own volition.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have thought that.
Yeah, but you know, it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around the fact that he's not going to be watching his LSU Tigers this year.
Well, the colleges haven't dealt.
And he'll tell you, JT, that's different.
Yeah, that's different.
They don't act that way. Bobby Bailey sent this in on whether President Trump should end the riots. He said, we're using paint guns now. Soon it'll be turned to rubber bullets, then to smaller rubber shotgun shells, the small missile fire, then death. What about water cannons?
What about them? Use
What
them.
about 'em? Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I saw saw it again yesterday. In fact, on Facebook is
Yeah.
a huge cannon that they use to fertilize fields with. It'll drain a septic tank, just spray pookie all over the place. Said, I bet that'd break the crowd up.
That's a stinky situation, isn't it?
Be easy enough to track them down.
Thanks for the comments, everyone. And we invite you to send your comments, your thoughts, your concerns, your subject ideas
Good, bad, or indifferent. Yeah.
to us. And there's two ways to do it. You can send it in to our email address, which is grandpaandpappy@gmail.com. That's grandpa and pappy @gmail.com. Or
you can go directly to our website, which is my preference because that's where all the shows are. You can subscribe on YouTube by going to www.grandpa, the letter N Pappy, that's grandpaandpappy.com. While you're there, you'll see a big old red button. Push it. It says subscribe on it. Come up with a password.
right there.
Yeah, that big red button.
Yeah, when you see that, just push it.
Yeah.
They will ask you for a password, like Pappy said, and it's your own private password that nobody has.
Not even us.
And you will be subscribed to the Grandpa and Pappy show.
Right.
And you can participate in everything and watch all the shows.
You can leave remarks while you're there on the website. I mean, there's 2 or 3 different ways you can get to our show.
Absolutely.
2 or 3 different ways you can leave remarks.
Down at the bottom.
Feel free to leave them good, bad, or indifferent. Give us a thumbs up. Tell a friend about it. And before you leave there, hopefully in the near future, we'll have a merchandise tab where you can buy one of these groovy little shirts like old Grandpa's wearing over there. We're not quite set up with that yet, but we're working
getting there.
on it. Yeah.
Yep,
The shirts
there.
will be ordered sometime today, and they'll be in next week. So, and there won't be a big quantity of them coming in. So I suggest if you want one, get your order in. Just text us, one of us, or directly to the show, Grandpa and Pappy at gmail.com. Give us your size and quantity of how many you want, shipping information and all that. We'd be more than happy to get you fixed up.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Coming up on Wednesday, got another interesting topic that you guys have really come to the table with comments.
Yeah.
Should Black Lives Matter be considered a terrorist organization?
Well, I think it is.
Well, we'll find out on Wednesday from the comments we've gotten in. And I promise we're going to cut back on the Black Lives Matter coverage because it's getting old, frankly.
I wish somebody would do away with politics, period. But, it's kind of like a police department. Somebody's got to be in charge of this goofy-ass world we live in, so...
It's been fun today. We thank you very much for joining us. As
great.
usual, we tell you to give your children a hug and tell them you love them.
Yeah, tell them we love them too, by God.
And we want you to be safe and join us back on Wednesday for another edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Meantime, take care of one another.
Absolutely. Until we see you again, Pappy and I say so long for now, and God bless. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.